Hello everyone, and welcome back to some more G-Senjou no Maou with me, Phantom Zawai. So, last time we left off, we kind of, sort of, maybe anyway, figured out the reason that Shiratori hates Kyousuke slash doesn't because she actually likes him. But anyway, if you missed that, go back and watch the last episode. We're now officially on Mizuha's path. And so, without further ado, let's forge on ahead. Meanwhile, from Shiratori Mizuha's perspective. Mizuha vision! You didn't... She's so bad!
よしよし、かわいそうにかわいそうに。あれじゃ、また誤解されちゃうよ。大丈夫よ、水葉。彼もバカじゃないから、あなたの気持ちには感づいたはず。
He's pretty thick-headed.
本当？あなたが2年前にチョコレートを渡したってことは間違いなく伝わったわ。
Yeah, he got that much.
でも、それだけじゃ今の私の気持ちは。落ち着いて。あなたは今目標に確実に近づいているわ。そう？だってそうでしょ。今まで声もかけられなかったのに。ほら、そんな暗い顔しないの。でも、吊り橋効果聞いたのかな。
No. The elder sister's face twisted like a drama mask.
聞いてる間違いない。
That part was awesome.
そうだよね。姉さんが教えてくれたんだものね。
Wow, the breeze is carrying me away.
次よ次。あれを追いかけるのよ。だってさっき単純接触の原理については教えたでしょ。とにかく顔を合わせろって。そう、行為の度合いは同一人物として認識された回数に比例するのよ。でも昨日から結構顔を合わせてるよ。お昼休みの時だって。ブスッとしてるだけじゃダメなのよ。いろいろな表情を見せるの。すると相手は短時間でも他人の内面を見たような錯覚を抱いて親近感を覚えるの。いろいろな表情。笑ったり泣いたり、歯を食いしばって屈辱に耐えてみたり。まあそう。
You're real bad at this, Shiratori.
わかったよ。他には？他？
Mizuha's older sister knit her brow with a
見ている限り、水葉は彼のことをもっと褒める必要があるわ。褒める？どうして？彼はあまり褒められた人じゃ。でも好きなんでしょ？だったら褒めなさい。でも褒めたら調子づくわ。例えば教育においては褒めるのが最も有効だといろいろな実験で示されているの。恋愛もそう。そんなことはないわ。最も有効なのは暴力よ。暴力より効率のいい指導なんてないわ。ちょっとあなたどこでそんな言葉習ったの？
That's a good question.
違うの？相手の成績が悪かったから叱る。するともともと悪かったのだから次は成績が上がる場合が多い。だから叱ると効果があったと錯覚してしまう。あ、そっか。成績が良かったら褒める。すると次は下がる場合も多いのだから調子に乗ったと思ってしまう。まあそんな話はいいとして、とにかく彼を褒めるのよ。でもどこをどう褒めていいのか。
Then
彼は裏がある人だし。
why do you like him if you have such a problem with all this?
その突っ張った態度がいけないのよ。相手を褒めるとね、自分の気持ちいいものよ。わかった。よし、じゃあ行け。
Yet another worthless problem is trying to worm its way onto my shoulders. A voice calls out behind me. I turn around, startled. Now she's laughing for some reason.
さっきはごめん。
And now she's over dramatically dejected.
そのコートかっこいいね。
For God's sake, her face and words aren't even matching up. What? What about my coat?
すごい素敵だと思う。
What's incredible about it? This thing is nothing but a cheap rag.
その色とか。
I'd say this is a pretty standard color for a coat.
あとその髪型、前髪が長いね。
Well, I'm sorry that bothers you.
あ、違う、褒めてるの。目が見えないくらい鬱陶しいじゃない？
What kind of compliment is that?
あとえっと何よ、いいところなんて全くないじゃない。
Facepalm! Oh man. Mesa. She suddenly dashed off. Hey! She ran far into the distance. What just happened?
姉さん、またダメだったよ。よしよし、かわいそうにかわいそうに。
Oh man. What is going through that girl's head these days? Today and yesterday, her behavior has been balls to the wall insane. But chocolates, huh? I'd have never thought she had a thing for me. She might still. Well, I don't care about Shiratori's feelings. I've got no time to play around with her. The only thing keeping me from letting all this go is one nagging question. Why did she fall for me 2 years ago? I don't remember being involved with Shiratori at all back then. Still, I knew she was the heir to the Shiratori construction, so I might have tried to get on her good side. Maybe she got the wrong idea about that. To top it all off, I threw away the chocolate she gave me. I'm quite the scoundrel. It's not like I don't feel bad about it, but that doesn't mean that I'm just going to up and fall in love with her to make up for it. This is ridiculous. I'm going to sleep. Or at least I thought I was. What do you want this time? Tokita, huh? Yeah, what's with her? Are you egging her on or something? She laughed suspiciously. About Shiratori? The word creepy wouldn't do it justice. Yeah, not that I remember anything about it. So? No, I shouldn't. I'm just not interested. Yeah, I should make that clear right now. Tell Shiratori that I'll apologize if she's still upset about 2 years ago, but I'm not interested in her. Her voice seemed to be hiding something. Why is she so into me anyway? I mean, I'm not interested that way. Tokita laughed. I told you, I don't think anything of her. Our classmates? No clue. I casually thought back on Eiichi's investigation into Shiratori's reputation. They say she's the top student, good at sports, a generally talented girl, I guess. Seems to have an attitude problem, though. I'd say that's about right. Ever since the director's scandal started, she's been treated even more coldly than before.
でもあの子、実は今彼氏いるのよ。
What? Talk about a freaking shock. I jumped out of bed and stood up. But
それが本音ね。もちろん嘘よ。彼氏どころか、私以外の誰ともまともな口を聞けないわ。
don't kid about things like that.
人は伝聞系で本音を漏らす。そうよね。やっぱり愛想が足りないわよね。
Apparently, I've fallen for some sort of trap. Hey, don't get the wrong idea. I was just surprised at the thought of her having a boyfriend. I wasn't disappointed or anything.
まあそうでしょうね。今のところは。
What's with not yet?
何にしてもあなたは水葉が周りから冷たい目で見られているのを少しは気にかけてくれているようね。
How do you work that out? I didn't say that. The other classmates did.
人間は無意識のうちに自分と同じ意見を集めるものよ。水葉が周りから敬遠されているのは事実だけれど、他にも真面目なところを評価する声もあったり、容姿が可愛いという声もあるのよ。
I just happen to have missed those positive opinions then.
そうかしらね。あなたは今日の朝一でマスコミに囲まれなかったかと水葉に聞いたらしいけど。
Sure, but was that because of my personal sensitivity to the eyes of society? Damn it. Talking to this woman tangles up my brain. Look, I'm hanging up now. You don't sound like you want to talk about anything important.
そうね。今日はこの辺にしておくわ。
Does that mean we have another session tomorrow? I hang up. This is ridiculous. Seriously. Oh well. As long as they keep it in school. I stop thinking so hard and go to sleep. I actually began to look forward to the doldrums of tomorrow that would allow me to forget about things like Maou, Gonzo, and the struggles of my family. Continuing on. Someday. Game? There we go. You can do it. Eiichi suddenly started a conversation the next morning. He was going on about some uninteresting junk, but I guess it'll do as a time killer until class starts. That's one of those games where you hit on girls, right? Really now, did you manage to sex up anyone up yet? What was it? Kinda like me, how? Oh? That's not like me at all. Friend?
かなりのイケメンでさ、普段はバカを演じてるんだけどよ、実際ここぞってところで主人公を助けてくれるんだよ。
Ah, the reliable friend. Oh?
俺っぽくね。
む
しろ俺そのものじゃね？
I'm not so sure about that. We banter for a few minutes until someone calls out to me.
おはよう。何よ。挨拶くらい。
Even Eiichi was like, what the fuck? No.
お昼空いてる？
I've got no plans, if that's what you mean. We can meet up if you want to.
じゃあ、その時にでも。
She briskly walked away.
おいおい、Kyousukeちゃんよ。
He drew closer to me with a jealous scowl.
何？お前復讐するとか言っといて、白鳥とどういう関係になってんの？
Nothing's going on between
敵
us.
と飯食おうってのかよ。
Hey, what's the big deal?
お前な、これがギャルゲーだったらお前そのままゴールインしちまうぞ。
Good thing this is reality then.
ちげえ
よ、お前知らないのか？俺たちの生きてるここは仮想現実なんだぞ。なんかもう何もかもコンピューターで作られた世界なんだって。
Ah, the self-awareness in this game is just fantastic. Right. So you're saying someone is out there right now on the other side watching our conversation.
そうだよ。早くパッチ出せよ。俺の身長180センチにする修正パッチ。
Ah, the last that mod has not come out, at least that I'm aware of. You watch too many movies. Tokita meandered into the classroom before the bell rang. Yo, not late today, huh?
ええ、寝てないから。
Up all night giving Shiratori weird ideas again?
なんで？お昼に誘われた？
As I thought. Hey, Tokita.
何？改まって。
What are you to Shiratori?
姉だけど。
You have different mothers, don't you?
それが？
Weren't you and your mother thrown out of the Shiratori house?
ええ。母は白鳥理事長の愛人だったの。それが堂々と同じ家に居座っていたんだから大変よね。華麗なる一族みたいになってたわ。
I'm surprised you can talk about it so casually.
変かしら？
Yes, you act like you're Shiratori's guardian, yet you were chased out of your own home while she stayed behind.
そうよ。
One would expect you to envy or resent her. Tokita narrowed her eyes at that.
歪んでるわよ。
She returned to speaking casually.
でもそのひがみを何がしかの行動に移さなければならないほど今の私は追い込まれていないの。
I can't figure out how you managed to be so open and frank.
じゃあ重たく語ったら同情してくれるの？
Not really.
そうよね。あなただけじゃなくてみんなそうよ。たとえ私と母さんが理不尽な処遇で家を追い出されたのだとしても同情なんてしてくれないわ。
I think that's a bit of an overstatement.
例えば私が昨日詐欺にあったって言ったらどうする？
I'd ask why.
理由なんてないわ。私はただ騙されたの。
Then it might have been your fault.
そうでしょう。その反応はあなたが冷たいからじゃない。ごく一般的なものよ。
Well, but that doesn't stop people from trying. Plenty of people out there beg for sympathy by talking about their rough lives.
全然逆効果よ。人間には公正な世界の信念というものがあるわ。誰もが理不尽な不幸なんて簡単には訪れないと思っている。だから理由もなく不幸に見舞われた人のことは能力が劣っているからそんな目にあったのだと思ってしまう。
What kind of life has this woman led? I'd ask, but it doesn't look like she'd be willing to talk about it. I obviously can't be certain, but it seems Tokita is doting on Shiratori after suffering through some complicated issue in the past.
さてさて、水葉はどこまで頑張れるかな？
She smiled in delight. Never mind. This can't just be a doting on a sister. Soon enough, it was lunchtime.
浅井君、お昼だけどおべ。
Nah, I always buy from the cafeteria.
じゃあ食べる？
Some of what?
ここじゃなんだし。ついてきて。
Where is she dragging me to this time, for God's sake? I followed after Shiratori. As she walked in front of me, I noticed that she hailed what looked to be a boxed lunch. I never thought I'd be eating lunch with you. And alone, no less.
嫌なら断ればよかったのに。
I don't have much else to do. I ended her nagging by sitting down.
まずはじめに昨日はごめんなさい。
Well, good. I half thought you'd gone apeshit on me.
姉さんから聞いた。チョコレートの件悪く思ってるんでしょ？
Yeah, I guess.
じゃあいい。許してあげる。
She was acting more than a touch condescending, but there was no reason to tell her that. Well, I mean, you know, given the circumstances, I actually sympathize with her. It's like, you know, hey, in that position, you probably should tell the person you're sorry. If you want to continue to have any sort of friendship with them anyway, you know.
これ作った。
She babbled and held out the lunch.
食べてよかったら。昨日のお詫び。美味しいと思う。私料理得意。
Who said there was no such thing as a free lunch? Alright, gladly. I unwrapped the napkin around the lunch to discover a cutesy little lunchbox. I opened the lid, and cliché dishes like omelets and sausages were housed within.
美味しい。
I haven't even taken a bite yet. What's gotten ants in her pants? I picked up the chopsticks inside the box and threw a bite of the food into my mouth. Well, it was fairly average. Shiratori fixedly watched me.
そういえばあなたはお金持ちだったわね。こんなもの食べないのかしら。
Don't be so fussy. It'll do just fine. Still, it's hard to relax with Shiratori glaring at me. There's something I need to confirm. Can I ask you something? I put down the chopsticks. Do you have a thing for me? Shiratori bit her lips and went silent. Oh, did I misinterpret something? I understand you gave me chocolates 2 years ago. Did you at least like me back then? Her trembling lips eventually spoke up.
そう。
Why?
あなたが優しそうに見えたから。
Which part of me were you looking at?
私を保健室に連れてってくれた。
I don't remember that at all.
朝とかよく声をかけてくれた。
I don't remember that either.
私が街で変な人たちに声をかけられた時。
I remember that, though. Those intimidating men she spoke of were Sonoyama street thugs, boys at the bottom of the ladder. I heard someone shout the name of the Sonoyama group as I walked downtown, and lo and behold, they were belligerently complaining about Shiratori bumping into them. I was with Gonzo at the time. They'd been too quick to flaunt the family, as those of the lowest rung are apt to do. He ordered me to do something about them, so I ended up saving her by some strange coincidence. I think I finally get it. After that incident, you discovered my intentions behind everything, and have been angry at me ever since. Is that the gist?
そうよ。私に声をかけてたのも私じゃなくて私の父に用があったんでしょ。
Yeah, that's right.
そう。
She seemed to have taken another shock. But as it stands now, I have no intentions of getting involved with Director Shiratori. I don't need to explain that one, do I?
なんとなく。
Between the hostage crisis and his bribery scandal, Director Shiratori is just about toast. Anyway, thanks for the meal. I handed the lunchbox back to her.
美味しかった。
I'd put it on about average. Nothing really stood out as fantastic. She went silent again.
本当は料理得意とか嘘なの。ごめんなさい。
Really? Well, it's no big deal. But why were you trying to show off?
それは姉さんなんでもない。
What did Tokita do this time?
そうすればあなたが割と正直だってわかるって。
Honest?
もしあなたが見えすいたお世辞を言うようならまだ何か私に含みがある証拠だって。でも多分そんなことはないだろう。
What kind of test was that?
いや私の気持ちの問題。
So Shiratori wants to trust me.
ごめんなさい。本当に試すようなことして。
I don't mind. I'm used to being evaluated. What? She suddenly blushed.
姉さんが言ってた。人間誰でも裏表があるって。でも 裏の裏がある人はそうはいないって。一旦裏を覗いてそれ以上嘘をつかない人だったら安心していいって。
Trustworthy? You think?
とにかく明日もお弁当作る。
She left me with that as she ran off yet again. Hey! Shiratori's figure, jogging off with, excuse me, with tightly clenched fists, seemed rather unfitting. Wait, tomorrow too? And what was that with that, it's pretty cool?
こんにちは。
Tokita abruptly showed up. God damn it! You scared the shit out of me!
解説いる？
Alright, look. What's up with Shiratori? Ever since you showed up, she's been acting weird. Has she gone mad or something?
そりゃもう完全に洗脳済みだから。
She even said I was cool. What the hell's wrong with her? Tokita laughed, grinning.
あの子ね、お姫様なの。だからちょっとハードボイルドっていうの？
Bad boys?
あなた、本音を言うときにちょっと声が低くなるじゃない？それがズッキューン来てるみたい。
I hope I do anyway.
とにかく気に入ったら美味しくいただいちゃってね。お弁当のことじゃないわよ。
Wow. She sounds like an old lich. Lunch break came to an end.
京介、暇か？暇だろ？ゲーセンでも寄って帰ろうぜ。
Oh, one second. Alrighty, sorry about that. Real life. Anyway. I don't go to arcades. You know that by now.
じゃあラーメンでも食いに行こうぜ。
I've no plans for today. No, I'll pass. Not this time.
なんだよてめえ。
He suddenly started pouting.
まさか白鳥か。
Enough with the tasteless jokes.
昼も一緒に飯食ってたらしいな、二人で。
Look, that was... You know, it's all part of the revenge.
ふん。まだ続いてたんだ。
No, he's not. Later. I turned my back to Eiichi.
そっけないぞてめえ。なんか用事があるわけじゃないんだろ。
I'm just not in the mood.
そんな時こそ遊んでテンション上げるべきだと思うね。
He clears his throat and puts his chin up in the air.
テンションを上げるぴったりの遊びがある。
You do? My interest is a little piqued, I must say.
二人サッカ
So much for the pick-me-up. That was more like a drop-me-down.
ー。嫌そうな顔だな。
So basically, you're still just trying to get me to play games. How many times do I have to tell him that I don't like them?
正真正銘のサッカーだっての。
One of us kicks and the other one is the goalkeeper. Like penalty kicks or something.
二人とも攻め。
Then the goal is empty. Just one wrong move and the other would score. Are we done here?
ほんと釣れないな。
Well, see you later.
お前みたいな冷たいやつはさっさと帰るかす。
That was a little harsh.
あ、ねえねえ、宇佐美さん。
Eiichi called out to Usami, who was on cleaning duty. Cleaning duty? Most of the journalists and reporters who had plagued the school over the past few days must have given up, as only a few showed up today. There were two groups of girls walking in front of me. They walked past the school gate, and then, as if suddenly noticing something gossip-worthy, huddled up to whisper to each other. I looked in the direction they were staring at, and Shiratori was standing there, waiting.
あざいくん。
I was hoping to ignore her and save myself from being dragged into the spectacle, but those hopes were shattered when she called out to me. Yo, you'll be stared at if you loiter around here.
ちょっとあなたに用があって
She was relentlessly pushy, just like at lunch.
よかったら帰り途中まで
That's it. I'm going to have to set her straight, once and for all. Alright, let's go to a cafe or something. She looked down again in embarrassment. I asked the waiter for a table for two, and we sat down. She seems nervous, as she won't even look me in the eyes. You didn't have any important business with me or anything, did you?
そうね迷惑だった
I took a sip of my water before replying. I'll say this outright. I stare at her, and she shrinks into her shoulders in fear. I'm not interested in you that way. In fact, I'm not really interested in you at all.
分かってる
Even though she knew, she still seems disappointed.
じゃあやっぱりダメ
She glanced at me with upturned eyes. Jesus, I don't understand you. There are plenty of better guys out there. What kind of girl likes the same guy over 2 of the most emotionally confused years of her life? Your reason for falling for me is so cliché. To top that off, you discovered shortly thereafter that it was all a big lie. So why are you still clinging to me? Shiratori didn't answer. Are you just being stubborn?
わからないでもどうしようもない
She bit her lip. I couldn't understand Shiratori's feelings at all.
私は不愛想で足りないところ多いでももう少し知ってほしい私のこと
She suddenly looked up, as if she had thought of something. She had thought
お
of
願い
something.
損はさせないしあなたの邪魔はしないから
We can likely thank Tokita's influence for this pushiness. And again, if you want to date me, go right ahead.
え
You're good for a free mediocre lunch every now and then, at the very least. That single sentence seemed to pierce her chest. I'll date you, because there's nothing to lose by fucking you. But like I said, I'm not interested in you. Are you still okay with that? I stood up to leave, not expecting a response. A sob of agony poured out. Later. I walked out before she could start crying. I don't know much about love. It's probably just another way, one of those ways to push your feelings onto someone else. Well, whatever. I'm sure I'll forget all about this soon anyway. I decided to take a shortcut and turned into a narrow alley.
Yeah.
The voices of bandits spilled forth from the darkness.
セリフ
ここを通りたかったら水と食料を置いていきな。宇佐美さん違う。間違った。何でしたっけ。もういいよ。
てめえここで会ったが100年目だぜ
Oops. Skipped a line. Oh, maybe I didn't. I thought I did. Ugh! Ouch! What the hell are you doing?
それはこっちのセリフだぜお前今何してた
Nothing.
え
Get your face away from me.
俺とのラーメン断って何してたって聞いてるんですわ
What are you talking about?
おやおやすっとぼけるんですか
Let go of me.
俺たちはちゃんとお前の後をつけてたんですよなあ宇佐美さんよ
あ、はい。
というわけだお前は白鳥とサテンに入ったこれをどう言い訳する
I could just be honest and say Shiratori confessed to me, at which point I refused, but... I'll leave it to your imagination.
やっぱりそういうことじゃねえか 何が復讐の一環だ。てめえは俺を怒らせたぜ。なあ、宇佐美さん。
あ、はい。
美味しいところだけ持っていこうったってそうはいかねえんだからな。
He flipped me the bird and walked off.
せいぜい夜道に気をつけな、このギャルゲの主人公が。
Usami stood... Sorry. Usami still stood there, staring fixedly at me.
浅井さん、マジっすか？
What do you think? Of course not.
そうっすか。
She hung her head as if thinking about something.
最近ゴンゾーさんはどうです？魔王について何かおっしゃってましたか？
What's with the sudden interrogation? No, he hasn't said anything.
そうっすか。先日の立てこもり事件も魔王が暗躍していたと思ったのですが、気のせいみたいですね。
She looked up and stared straight at me again.
では、さよなら。
Yeah. Usami walked off. For some reason, I gazed at her back. Something about that tone didn't sound like a normal bye. Weird woman. I headed home. After calling Miki-chan, Gonzo, and a few other business associates, I laid down on my bed. I thought back on the day. Most of my thoughts are obviously centered on Shiratori. She wants me to be her boyfriend. To be a boyfriend. I can't say I fully understand the meaning of that phrase. Does it mean to fall in love with someone and become emotionally involved? It may even include to take the necessary steps to become a husband and father. Well, there aren't many people who think that far ahead, so I'd wager that's not part of its popular use. But either way, people date because it has some merit for them. Be it because they're aiming for their partner's assets, or to fulfill their own desires. There's something they're getting out of it. So, if I was to date Shiratori, there would have to be some merit in it for me. What is there to gain from dating Shiratori? Naturally, it would have to be something only Shiratori could provide. This train of thought is incredibly out of character, and frankly, stupid. It's vain to try to explain something as intangible and abstract as emotion with logic. Of course, that doesn't stop Tokita from having a blast doing just that. My cell phone loudly rang. I somehow predicted who it would be. Yeah. I gotta say, I'm surprised. I thought our conversation was finished, was it not? That damn Nessan again, huh? Shiratori apparently can't do anything without Tokita. I don't think there's much left to say. She's a timid girl when Tokita isn't pushing her around. What? Are you going to ask me out again? I told you already. We can do whatever you want, but I'll only be using you. She eventually spoke up in a sobbing voice. Come again? The sadist in me reared its ugly head. I might cheat on you, or ask you for money. I couldn't fathom this situation. What does Shiratori have to gain that could push her this far? Shiratori was blind. I remember Tokita once telling me that Shiratori was no good with people. I was honestly taken aback by Shiratori's absurd request. Alright, fair enough. Then let's date. I involuntarily agreed. If I play around with her a little, she might open her eyes. Sure. You promised not to get in my way. You'd do best to remember that. What's with you? My interest in Shiratori suddenly spiked. I'm hanging up. Try not to call me for no reason. Whether I read it or not is my prerogative. How long is she going to keep this up? Anyone else would have abandoned hope once they realized the other person didn't share their feelings.
それじゃあおやすみ。
Her last words were somehow sad. Whatever. Just because I'm dating Shiratori doesn't mean my life is going to suddenly change tomorrow morning. I guess I'll go to sleep. Oh, Shiratori vision! Mizuha hugged her older sister, weeping.
これでよかったの。
上出来。
She'd always confidently encouraged Mizuha.
でも他の女の子とも付き合うかもって。
あら、そんなひどいこと言われたの？彼らしいわね。
ひどいよね。もう無理だよ。
Mizuha just keeps whining, yet a gentle voice rains down upon her head.
無理だと思うのはまだまだ努力が足りないからよ。
努力？
これからってこと。諦めずに気持ちを伝えていきなさい。
うん。頑張る。ごめんね、愚痴ばっかりで。
Mizuha's sister laughed at her obedient attitude.
彼との関係が深まるにつれてだんだん弱音も吐かなくなるわ。私の助けもいらなくなる。そうなった時もうゴールは間近よ。
わかった。ありがとう。
さあ、もう夜も遅いわ。
あ、待って姉さん。途中まで一緒に帰ろう。
Mizuha has her own home. Yuki has her own family. They're sisters, but they can't live together.
あ、雪降ってきた。
あら、
Mizuha held her sister's hand.
また雪だるま作れるといいね。
そうね。
Yuki left. Mizuha failed to recognize the dark shadow lurking inside her grin. Oh man, I still want to keep playing because I'm really enjoying all this, but okay, I can probably do one more scene. Okay, let's. I'm gonna be so freaking tired tomorrow, but whatever. The school day greeted me with a bizarre incident. I stepped over to my desk. Several photos were strewn across it. I have no idea where or when they had been taken. They were pictures of me in the act of falling asleep. My eyelids were drooping, my mouth was hanging wide open. In other words, I looked like an idiot. A note with the word "threat" written on it had been clumsily stashed in the desk. If you don't want your bitch to see these, pay up 500 trillion yen. My bitch?
やあ、京介くん、おはよ
Hello, culprit. Hey, kid.
う。どうしたの？何かあった？
Yeah, no.
まさか脅迫されてるの？
You're so obvious. Fess up.
何？全然わかんない。お金払えって？
Yeah, 500 yen.
500億万円だよ。あ、しまった。ちくしょう、はめやがったな。
Where did you get this anyway? I held up the photo of me looking like an idiot.
ウケる。
Stop laughing, cunt.
返せ。
Yeah. Oh god. Oh, excuse me. That's what I get for recording so late. He lunged at the photo and snatched it with the agility of a monkey. Hey, give me back.
誰が渡すかよ。これでお前は俺のおもちゃだ。
You think so?
そうよ。この写真がある限り、お前は俺の言うことを聞かなければならんわけよ。
Shiratori aside, I don't really want that photo leaked to the masses. Alright, if you say so.
わかりましただろうが。
Yes, sir. What do you want me to do?
そうだな。お前が女だったらやらせることは一つなんだが。
Wait, what would you make me do if I were a girl?
肩もみて。
Oh, okay. You had me there for a second.
よし決めた。便所掃 掃除してこい。
Why?
なんとなく癖じゃん。
You've got to be shitting me.
みんな聞いて。
Hey!
京介くんのお宝が。
Fine, I'll do it, sir.
素直に言うことを聞けばいいんだよ。
All I have to do is clean it, right?
便器飲める勢いでやれ。
You'll give me those pictures back once I'm done, right?
もちろんだと思う。
Alright, I'll get on it right now. Eiichi laughed triumphantly as I turned and left the classroom. I'm in the men's restroom. I half-heartedly scrub at the fixtures and surfaces for about 10 minutes. At that point, I start writing on the walls with water. Eiichi is a pervert. My masterpiece didn't last but about a minute before it dripped and evaporated away. As I leave the restroom, I bump into Shiratori.
おはよう。
Morning.
掃除してたの？
Why?
洗剤の匂い。
Yeah, I was.
そう。偉いのね。
I didn't volunteer for the job, if that's what you're thinking.
私はお花に水をやりに。
Why? Can't you just leave it to someone else?
いいのも好きでやってるから。
I see. Well, later.
うん。
Her wistful voice trailed behind me. The task is finished, Master Edikichi-san.
ああ、そうかそうか。ご苦労さん。
Now give me back those photos.
そうよ。
He obediently handed them over. Making me do all that crap. Still got the negatives, right? What's so funny?
いやいや、これで終わったと安心しているお前がおかしくてね。
Huh? Ah!
そうよ。ネガよ。写真のネガ俺が持ってるわけよ。
Are you fucking kidding me?
一度言ってみたかったんだよな、このセリフ。
What kind of dick always wanted to blackmail someone?
安心させておいて絶望を味わわせる。最初からお前を許す気なんてないわけよ。
He punctuated his monologue by pulling an exact copy of the photo he handed me out of his pocket.
つうわけで、これを白鳥に。
Wait a second, you son of a gun.
白鳥さん。
God, he's too fast.
何？
Shiratori always scowled when... Sorry about that, my phone's vibrating. Scowled coldly when approached by Eiichi or the other classmates.
あのね、これ見て。
He held out the photo up to Shiratori's face. Well, at least she wasn't scowling anymore. Eiichi, you dumb shit!
これは。
嫌われちまえ。
Yes, hate him for looking sleepy.
かわいい。
Her cheeks went red.
なんで？これもらってもいい？いいけど。
Shiratori reached for the photo Eiichi was holding and quickly hid it in her bag. Hey, Shiratori, give me that back.
やだ。
You... I scratch my head, and Eiichi moans.
そんな。おいおい、とんだピエロってやつじゃねえかよ。
He collapsed to the ground pitifully. Okay. Surely I can fit in one more scene. We're not even at 50 minutes yet. Lunch break. I was on the rooftop with Shiratori. She'd made me lunch again. I suppose my food expenses are going down at least. Aren't you eating?
いい。
I didn't talk much as I ate.
私邪魔。 う
I don't mind you being here, but say something. The silence is killing me.
ーん。
She looked puzzled.
今日お弁当を作るために卵を割ったの。
Right.
そしたら君が2個出てきた。
Yeah, that happens sometimes. What happened then?
それだけ。 となく嬉しかった。
Right. Next.
昔夜空に浮かぶ星を見てた時、
Yeah?
ああ流れ星って誰かが言った。そしたらもう見えなくなってた。
Well, I suppose that's to be expected. Those things move quickly.
私コピーを取るとき1枚目はどうあがいても失敗するの。
Yeah, I can sympathize with that.
先週お手洗いの便座カバーを買いに行って U 字か O 字かわからなくなって一度引き返したの。
The troubles of everyday life, I see.
あとね、
There's more?
テレビ放送の映画見てると CM になったら急に音が大きくなってびっくりする。
You don't say.
レンタル DVD 見終わって停止ボタンを押したらやっぱりテレビの音が大きくてびっくりする。
Her incessant rambling continued on until the next class started. I had a hunch that Shiratori would accost me again after school. She didn't fail to deliver.
今日は時間ある？
I am, but I've no intention of playing around with you. Later.
明日は？
Oh yeah, there's no school tomorrow. I could easily arrange to meet with her, but do you want to hang out with me that much? She nodded over and over.
そばにいられれば。
What a pain. Being together might be fun for you, but it's boring for me. She had nothing to give me after all.
クラシックのコンサートのチケット。
What? Wait. I need to calm down. I almost stood up in a frenzy. I'll pass.
そんな嘘でしょ？
My response seemed to be quite unexpected.
じゃあどうすれば？
Do you really want to be with me that much? I don't get it. What spurred Shiratori this far? I need to think about this seriously. What use is Shiratori to me? Is she anything but a waste of time? Fair enough. Come over to my apartment tonight.
うち？
Yeah, I can make some time later.
でも
What?
いきなりお家なんて。しかも夜に。私門限があってあまり遅くなると父に叱られる。
You're quite a lady, aren't you?
最近は夜更かししてるから父の機嫌も悪くて。
Never mind then. We can hang out next week. I turned my back to Shiratori. Why should I rearrange my schedule around her? Well, she's given up by now, so it's no big deal.
待って。行く。住所を教えて。
She seems serious. Alright, and
普通の人は恋愛に意味なんて考えないものよ。
that is true, Yuki. But that is where I'm going to have to end the episode for today. As always, thank you guys very much for watching, and I will see you all next time.